Hello, I'm Amy. I work for the Momentum team, and I'm joined today by Charlie and Rupert from YMCA Norfolk, who are going to tell us a bit about their online youth offer and all the things that they've been doing to support young people in a socially distanced way. So if you just want to introduce yourselves, tell us a bit about who you are, what you normally do for YMCA, and what you've been doing over the past couple of months.
Okay. Rupert, you can go first.
Wonderful. So I'm Rupert. I'm a senior engagement worker for YMCA Norfolk. Me and Charlie have a very similar role, but we just look after different youth groups. So I sort of look after some of Norwich, sort of Acle and Yarmouth. We're going over the other side as well, a bit of Mattershall, working in Horsford as well. Working in lots of a variety of projects, including sports, sort of support services and advice to detached and supporting the antisocial behaviour areas with police work as well.
Yeah, like Rupert said, similar role, same job title. You mentioned the areas we work in. Other things that we do are things like anti-bullying support groups. We also do the Youth West project as well, and we do a lot of other partnership work, working very closely with Active Norfolk as well around stuff.
So most of your time then is travelling out to lots of different places in Norfolk, normally running youth clubs, running youth sessions, very sort of in position, physically with young people. So obviously all of that has stopped over the past couple of months.
Yeah.
How quickly did you make the adjustment to running something online?
It was, I think it was the same as everybody else. It was strange, I think is the only word, because up until March, I think it was March the 15th was when the lockdown was officially announced. As far as we was concerned, it was business as usual. So our rota was very structured. We had plans. I mean, like we'd have session plan planned for months. We had equipment purchased. We had good attendance at nearly every youth provision. And then March 15th, it was kind of just like doors all shut. And 90% of March was me and Rupert rapid responding. It was putting out fires rather than it was building stuff. So we recognised that the need of the young people was still there. We just didn't have a platform to support them. So overnight, we had to develop an entire platform in the space. I think we had the plan within a night, and then we started building it within a week. And I think it was around about April, we've only been put into a position where we've not been firefighting, but we've been able to now start moving forward with the platform itself. It's been busy.
It's been very, very busy. Something that's come up in constant chats between me and Charlie is that just because our sort of like professional agendas and calendars have changed doesn't mean that our young people's has as well. The young people who are in crisis are still in crisis, and they still need support, and they still need to be able to see that professionals care for them and that support is there if they and when they need it.
Yeah. So what sort of things have you been doing as part of these online sessions? Give us a couple of examples.
So at the beginning, most of it centered around social media. So we wanted to create a lot of engaging posts. So we started off with really basic stuff, which are still running actually. So we started off with the motivational videos. At the very beginning, they were like 4 to 5 minutes long, which are now down to about a minute because we've learned very quickly that it's very hard to manage uploading when you do huge videos. We also introduced something called the weekly challenge, where one of us would challenge the young people to take part in something. We then developed something called the online gaming sessions, where we use the consoles that we purchased for some of the clubs, brought them back out, and then run sessions where young people can either play the games with us, or they can log into Twitch and they can take part in the chats. The idea around that being that it was a more comfortable environment for them, less clinical, and they had more control of it because we don't know anything about Twitch. And most of the games, up until the lockdown, I didn't even know how to play Minecraft. Now, if you saw the world that we've built because we've been that active on Minecraft, I mean, like we've had too much time on our hands in that place. We've also been running something called the Friday Feelings podcast. So one of the things that we noticed very quickly at the beginning was that a lot of the information that was coming out, especially through social media, was not 100% accurate. And in a world where social media rules supreme, a lot of young people were starting to feel a little bit anxious around what they were reading. So me and Rupert decided to build a live podcast every Friday, which can be accessed from the Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, LinkedIn, and I think Periscope, because Periscope was an option and I wanted to include it. Where young people can
Periscope. I'm like way behind.
Where young people can take part in, and it's fully interactive, so young people can take part as well. And we have to monitor all these. It was a good idea when we put them on all of them, but then we realised that we then have to monitor all of these individual chats. But it was a jargon busting podcast, so we would then unpick all the information from the speech from the government, and would tell them the things they need to know. Would repeat key words, and explain the meaning behind them, and we'd just do little fun interactive things as well. And then from there, we then learned very quickly that we had all of these different things going on in different websites, but no means to share it. So people would be emailing us going, "Oh, so what are you doing?" And to that person would send them Facebook, and another person asked them, to them would send them to Twitch. So no one person was getting all of the activities we were doing. So we developed a website, the YMCA Norfolk Youth Suite, and we kind of collaborated all of the material and put it all on that one location, so a young person can create a free of charge membership on there, and they can access all of the content without having to jump around the internet.
Right.
It's also good to signpost professionals to that website as well. It's been quite handy to be able to, with all the posters saying, instead of trawling around the internet, hashtagging YMCA Norfolk or YMCA Youth, just here's our website, here's our poster, this is everything that we offer.
And that's open to any young person in Norfolk that wants to join in?
Technically, any young person. If they get in there, they can use it. We advertise primarily in Norfolk. We also, it's for young people, but we also offer it to professionals, like Rupert said. So we've got posters up in local newsagents. We've advertised it in hostels because it's not age restricted. The good thing about the website is that they can't interact with each other on there. So we've got no concern around inappropriate interactions. So we're in a position where we can invite anybody from age appropriate for the activities, which I think we structured out about 11, up to retirement, knowing that they can't interact with each other and that everything's safe, and it just lets us spread the message.
Yeah, and it's really nice to have like one place that young people can go and find out about everything, because I guess young people will dip in and out. Some of them will enjoy the Twitch stuff and some of them will want something a bit different. And it's good that you've got that kind of broad offer, so there's something for everyone.
Yeah, it's nice to have that constant reminder. So if a young person has a bad day, they can flick through their Facebook feed or Instagram feed and be like, these are professionals that still care. Here's a positive message. I didn't see that challenge yesterday of Rupert or Charlie doing this. I'll try that out and hashtag it in, or the live Wednesday updates when they see, sometimes how messy our house is, but, we're still having fun and just showing people what we're doing, wanting to get to our sort of positive mentality. I think that's what we've tried to hit home really quickly. We're not sort of Instagram models. We don't aim for this high perfection rate. We just show, we're youth workers. We're here to support you, and it's really transparent, humble approach to social media that really resonates with the youth. Well, we hope anyway. We've had some good feedback from young people that have enjoyed at least our funny posts so far. It's just different service to offer them potentially what jargon busting they'd have to do on their own, or from being a bit, I wish I could do that much exercise, or I wish I ate that well. No, sometimes we're just having fun and signposting them to hearty content.
Yeah, I think there has been some of that competitiveness, hasn't there, of like, I'm learning a language, I'm learning to play the trombone or whatever, and people have felt like they have to use their lockdown for something really productive. And it's nice to just reassure young people that, they can just be themselves and do things that they would normally enjoy.
Quite right.
There's a high number of young people out there that have a routine, and it's been disrupted. And I know that I've seen videos where, like, when they had the schools closed, that in their heads it was fortnight and summer holidays 4 months early. But a lot of them are not in a position where they either can learn a new skill, or probably don't want to. Some of them have their routine. Some of them just want to play games. Some of them just want to talk to their friends. And our platform caters for them as well as for the other individuals that want to do stuff as well. Not do stuff, but like learn new skills. So we kind of centered it around the YMCA triangle of mind, body, and spirit when we was designing it. And we was very fortunate because, like I said, we have the Youth West partnership. The Youth West partnership has a lot of partners in it, so we was able to call upon a lot of them for support. So the garage, Norwich, for instance, we work with them. Over before the lockdown, they were running something called, or one of their partners called John was running a group called what they called. I've forgotten what the name of it is, but basically it was a free of charge group that young people could attend where they could form bands, learn an instrument, and learn live music. He then came to us and we worked with him and we bought some very technical equipment that I've never heard of before. And we delivered it to all of these young people that he'd been working with. And those young people have been able to continue doing their band practices from their own homes while social distancing. And it's also allowed John to continue doing the live support as well. So from the beginning of lockdown to where we are now, all of these young people he's been working with have been able to continue producing music, continue interacting in the club that they loved, without fear of it disappearing. I think in terms of charities, we've been very fortunate with the amount of resources we do have in that sense. Yeah. We also had some very good funders. I mean, Active Norfolk have been very active, which is with it. They supported some funding so we could run some Goya at home videos. Norfolk Community Foundation supported us to help make sure that we could afford to set stuff up online. And we've had who's the other ones? Just random donations coming from like East of England Co-op. And without them, we wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah. Have there been any other obstacles that you've had to overcome in order to get this up?
The biggest one's safeguarding.
Yeah.
It's a whole new world of safeguarding. So I think it was in the same boat as everyone, where the principles of safeguarding in face-to-face, we kind of evolved to digital. So we knew that a member of staff is safer when they're in pairs. So when we did the online gaming sessions, we designed it so that although Twitch streaming allowed people to come online and interact through the chat board, it allowed us to record the session and also have another member of staff watch it, which protected the other staff member. We also needed to make sure that if we was instant messaging, that somebody else was able to pop in and out of that instant messaging chat so that both the young person and the staff member was protected. Once again, we was very lucky because our social media was already quite strong beforehand, and the policies we put in place meant that no one member of staff was allowed to use an independent profile. So we all had access to the same profile. So if Rupert was speaking to somebody, the chats would appear on my phone, and if I was speaking to somebody, the chats would appear on his phone.
There's always that oversight. Yeah.
Make sure that one person isn't doing something on their own. It's all really, really clear. There was a group chat the other day that I was having with another staff member and a group of clients, and Charlie thought they were spam messages and removed me from the group as well. So that was nice, but it just goes to show that it's just about having that transparency and just always dipping in and out of what each and everyone's doing to make sure our work is accessible and universal.
And just learning as you go as well. Like, you might not have had everything set up right from the beginning. You learn things, and like setting up the website, realizing that you needed that central place. I think we're all kind of in that boat at the moment where from one week to another, you're just sort of going, okay, this is what we have been doing. We can make it better by doing this, and just adapting as you go. So it's great to hear about what you've been doing. What would you say are your kind of highlights from the session so far? Has there been one standout moment?
I think the numbers we've got are quite good.
Yeah, interactions across the board. So we kind of divided it up into direct and indirect interaction. So we had the ones where we physically talk to them, and then we had the ones where they necessarily didn't want to talk to a worker but wanting to engage in the activities, and both have been very high throughout, which was very nice to see, because if they weren't high, we wouldn't be doing that. We'd just be two guys playing Xbox Monday to Friday.
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of funny moments on the Twitch streams. Young people, it makes me realise how old I am when I play a game with a young person. And there's lots of funny moments on there.
There are. And it's about them. Hopefully, you know, we've provided different platforms for them to look back in their life at lockdown and think fondly of it. You know, the YMCA and what we've done as a team, we've been able to provide that support and that honesty, but also building those positive memories and relationships that they will think back on fondly. You know, in a pandemic, in a time of crisis, they'll actually, you know, there were still things going on that were positive. The world still did care. There were still professionals who wanted to reach out to me and support me during that tough time and things like that. So, you know, we've hopefully solidified the relationships with young people to go on and do more productive clubs with them. But yeah, I think it's, the numbers have been really, really positive. I've got some stats if you'd like them. I think I'll try and get them. So I think on most of our total followings, we've got 901 people following us on like Facebook, Instagram, sort of the YouTube where the podcasts go, and Twitch. And an engagement last month with unique individuals over the whole month was 1,300. So of individual clients coming in and talking either on a daily basis and across the board on different platforms as well. So trying to capture that data as well to make sure that, well, we know what we're doing.
Yeah, and like you said, the longevity of that, you know, they know that you were there for them in this really tough time. And it might be that 6 months down the line when stuff's starting to ease up a little bit, but they've got an anxiety about something else, that they go, oh, well, actually, these guys were here for me. I'm going to speak to them. So, you know, you're sort of building those relationships for the future as well.
That's it. That's the dream.
It's also helped establish social media as a form of contact. So before this, young people were the adults. So they didn't add us on Facebook or Instagram because they just didn't do it. Now they do. And they also now know that they can talk to us on there as well. So it's opened up another communication pathway. So when we do eventually go back to normal youth practices again, we can bring what we've learned from this lockdown to what we're doing out there and just improve the services.
Great. All right, well, I think we've sort of covered most things. Is there anything more that you wanted to say that you think that you haven't already said before we finish?
No.
That's
no,
great.
it's
Do you want to
really,
give
really good.
plugs for the website?
The website, yes, it's www.ymcanorfolkyouthsuite.org.
Brilliant. So yeah, send people there, go have a look at what's on offer, and get some ideas as well for other groups that might be running online things that want to see what you've done and share some ideas around.
Definitely.
Do you want to quickly chuck at the end? One thing I forgot to say. We will be on the 10th of August. YMCA is slowly building the YMCA Summer Festival. So we will be. What we used to do is in the West is we used to do something called the summer pop-ups, where we would go around to local parish councils and we would provide them free of charge youth provisions for the summer holidays to help build a data sheet up to prove the need for youth work in their areas. That's not been possible this year, so instead we've pushed the money together and we're building up a online festival where we're going to try and collaborate with other professionals to host a 5-day event for young people to log in, take part in workshops around stand-up comedy, poetry, music, speaking to hopefully like Mind Matters, On Track. We're going to have seminars and question and answers to professionals as well. We'll try and send out details as we evolve it.
That would be brilliant. Yeah. So that's on the 10th of August.
That'll be on the 10th of August. I'll ping over you guys a poster as well, so you guys can have a look.
Fantastic. We'll share that.
Yeah.
Great.